Now, I quickly wanted to grab your attention before we get into the video, because what I see a lot right now in the crypto trading market is that a lot of traders are trading without a strategy, without risk management. They're essentially gambling. And that is truly where I think the Cilinix Premium Group has a lot of value, because not only do you get profitable signals, trades you can follow easily, you get material to make you a profitable trader yourself. And right now we have also added indicators that I have coded myself, such as the Momentum Initiative candle, which you can see on the screen, accurately predicted new momentum coming in at the recent Bitcoin bottom. Incredibly valuable. Links will be down in the description. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto, or welcome to the channel if you're new as well. Welcome to this full analysis that we are going to do on Litecoin. We will talk about the technicals, but we will talk about the technicals at the end of the video, because before that there is a ton of different views and a ton of different points out of which to look at Litecoin right now. There's a lot going on. Obviously, we have the Litecoin ETF. It is still very correlated to the markets, so we have market conditions we need to talk about. It is related to the whole privacy narrative that we have at this point of time. And there's interesting things going on with that as well, especially with Zcash, which has obviously been the front runner in the whole privacy narrative. So in general, a lot to talk about, and we need to understand the fundamental context first, because we actually, before we can actually say, okay, this is what we expect from the technicals, because the technicals are quite ambiguous as well. I mean, Litecoin has been able to break above a significant level right here around $102, which is very significant. That was the main support level that held us up in August, and that again held us up in September. Amazing. And it was also the main resistance level that kept us down right here in May, right? So it's a very relevant level, and you can easily see that on the chart as well. And we were able to break above that. We were able to break above that with volume, but in no shape or form the same volume we had in July, when we actually, had a successful breakout. And outside of that, you can see right now, while Bitcoin is still holding on relatively well, Litecoin is pulling back quite aggressively. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what to understand. Now, first of all, like I said, Litecoin is part of that privacy narrative to a certain extent. And Zcash, the front runner of that, or the main runner of that privacy narrative, has broken down. It's broken down below $540, which was a critical level. So I think in terms of the privacy narrative viewpoint, there's reason to be a little bit cautious until Zcash has reclaimed critical support, or until it has hit new support. I think it's reason, because of that, to be cautious on Litecoin. And then outside of that, when we're talking about the Litecoin ETF, so far the inflows through that have also not been amazing. According to this source, So Value, yesterday we had some pretty good inflows. As you can see, that was possibly also because Litecoin ended last week and was pretty strong over the course of the weekend. So people saw that and they started to buy into Litecoin. But before that, and cumulative, right now we're at $4.5 million. It's obviously not a lot. Okay, that's not a lot. And then we still have the Litecoin Grayscale Trust, which will most likely very soon be turned into into an ETF, and that has like hundreds of millions of dollars in assets under management. And what happens very often is when one of these Grayscale trusts turns into an ETF, that means that the liquidity becomes much, much higher, and those institutions and retail holding the Litecoin trust will sell off their Litecoin. Okay, so in general, when we're talking about those two fundamentals, the Litecoin ETF and the whole privacy narrative, I think it's good to be very cautious on Litecoin right here. And I think the price action also supports that, because we've had a big, beautiful breakout, as you can see, but the volume is not that high. There's a lot of leverage coming into the markets. We've had a bearish divergence, as you can see right here, at the yearly rolling VWAP, which we have not been able to break above. So that is still lingering resistance to the upside of the price. I think it's most likely will push down lower into the range, right? So I think it's most likely, also because of my expectations of Bitcoin pushing down lower, I think we will push down. And then the first level where I think, okay, if we get a very strong reaction there, then we can still make this a real breakout and rally. It's the point of control in the high liquidity zone we have around $96. Okay, so if I think it's most likely we will push down into that level because of the fundamentals, because of the technicals. If at that level we will be able to find strong enough support to reclaim $102, then we can really rally. And then we can rally into $118, right? So then a massive rally is a possibility. But because of I think the caution you have to have with these fundamentals, And because of the general expectation of a market pullback, not a major one, but at least short term, I think it's more likely actually for Litecoin here that this turns into a bit of a fake out and that we will be able to find support at $96, but that we will not be able to reclaim 102, and that we will remain relatively stable around $96 afterwards, which is a very high liquidity zone and therefore works as a bit of a magnet when it comes to price attraction. Those are my thoughts. I would have loved to be much more optimistic and much more positive regarding Litecoin, but I think it's my number one duty to be honest. And honestly, this is what I would expect. So those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you all in my next videos, and bye.